Hello there, it's Sarah from Paper Lovely. Thanks for joining me today. I am very excited to share with you my first video using my new Close to My Heart products. For those of you who did not watch my unboxing, I'm giving you a quick look at the stamp set and papers that I'm using. The stamp set is called Frightful Friends, and the papers are their Spooktacular set, which includes one full sheet of cardstock stickers. So I am going to jump right into the cards in a second here. What I have done is taken some Neenah cardstock. This is 80-pound solar white, and I'm going to stamp out all of these little critters as well as their little stakes to hold and the speech bubbles using some Memento Tuxedo black ink. I knew that I was going to want to use my Copics on this, and that is my go-to for whenever I'm doing any type of Copic coloring. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp this out. I ended up doing this 4 times, and then I will take that to my brother's ScanNCut and get all of those trimmed out and color all of them in. So I have left out the coloring just to save time on the video, but I will list all of the colors that I used for you in my blog post. For the pattern papers, I've taken those and they are double-sided, so I ended up having quite a bit left. I only had to use 3 of them to get my backgrounds. So I've trimmed down some backgrounds measuring 4 by 5 1/4. Here I'm going to get started on card number 1. So I've grabbed one of the stickers. Be careful when you place those down. They are very sticky. And I've grabbed this green and white striped background. I'm going to use this mummy dog. I had mentioned in my last video that this, I think, is probably my favorite from the set, but they're all really, really cute. So I'm just taking that sticker and I'm going to place that down on my panel here, sort of off to the side. Wanted to make sure that you could read everything for the most part, but still sort of have that falling off the edges. And I've got my dog and his little stake here, so I'm going to stamp out the sentiment Boo, and for that I'm using Lawn Fawn Fake Tan ink. And then I've also got a little pail for his candy there. So just laying everything out, and once I have that set the way that I wanted it, I'm going to add a little bit of our glitter glue just where these smaller items overlap so I can get that all stuck together. And once I'm happy with how all that is placed, I'm going to go ahead and pop this up with a bunch of my Sticky Thumb foam dots. I'll peel away the backing and then pop him down right on top. So there are some white stars and some little white dots throughout that Fright Night sticker, and I wanted to accent that a little more, so I grabbed from my stash. I had these left over from an older Pebbles collection. I'm going to use a few of these smaller white enamel dots and just place 3 of those scattered around on the front as well. For the inside, I'm going to use one of the sentiment stickers. This reads, Happy Halloween. I've got my trusty Neenah panel trimmed to 4 by 5 1/4, and I'll go ahead and use my ruler and place that down. I've grabbed a card base from my stash here. This is made from MFT's Boysenberry, and I'm going to add some ATG to the back of my front panel and place that down. And then I'll add some ATG to the back of this panel and place that on the inside of my card base. And that will complete card number 1. So here for card number 2, I've got this little owl, and I'm going to grab the spider web sticker. Just going to place that again so it's running just off the top of the edge to make my scene seem a little bit longer. And then I'll grab one of the spiders. I'm going to add him hanging down from the web. And I love the way the owl's eyes are sort of looking back like, oh, I hope that spider doesn't land on my broom. So that was sort of the plan that I was going for here. And I'm just going to place everything down, and then I'm going to grab another sticker. This is sort of a speech bubble sticker that says Eek, and I'm going to have that placed just above the owl there. And I decided to add a little bit of dimension. I'm going to add a few foam dots behind that speech bubble. And then I'm just going to move these around until I get a placement that I like. I felt like it was too much white having that next to the web and the spider. So I'm going to place that on the opposite side there. And then for my spider, I'm going to add a little web for him to be hanging off of. So I've grabbed my Memento Tuxedo Black marker, and I'm just going to line this up, and I'm going to run that a few times up and down my ruler just to make sure I have it nice and straight, but also because I'm going between the paper and the sticker, and I want to make sure I have a nice solid line there. I'll add some art glitter glue behind my owl and place him down. And I did get a little smear of glue there, so I'm just grabbing my adhesive eraser. I'm going to run that, get rid of that extra smudge. And then at this point I had trimmed off the top of that web, but I felt like that bottom corner just needed something. So I tried a bunch of things. I've spared you everything I was bringing in and out there, and finally decided to just grab that little top piece of the web that I had trimmed off and add that. And that felt like the perfect amount of what I was looking for. Again, I've got a Nina panel trimmed to 4x5 1/4, and I've grabbed one of those sentiment stickers and placed that down using my ruler to keep it nice and straight. I've added some ATG to the back of my top panel here, and this card base is made from MFT's Steel Gray. So I'm going to go ahead and place that down, and again I'll add some ATG to my inside panel and place that down as well. And that will complete card number 2. So here for card number 3, I'm going to start out by stamping out this happy sentiment. And I am using my new ink pad for this. This is the Close to My Heart water-based dye ink. And I really like it so far. It stamps really cleanly, really nicely. It's nice and juicy because it's brand new. And I've just stamped that out on some MFT grape jelly cardstock and trimmed that down. And I've got a bunch of my little characters here. I just thought they were so cute, so I wanted to combine them all in one card. This is probably my favorite card of the bunch. I have missed a little bit of footage here. I'm sorry. I thought I was recording and I wasn't, but I did then I laid out that happy sentiment and then placed down the Halloween and stamped that out as well. So now I'm just getting everything glued down. I've got my mummy dog here, added some art glitter glue behind him, and I will do the same here for this little vampire cat. And then lastly, I'm going to take that bunny and I will pop him up using some foam dots. This bunny sort of reminds me of the one from that, I think, is it from Zootopia, or maybe it was from The Secret Life of Pets. It's one of the ones that my niece and nephew love, and he sort of seems like a bad bunny with that patch over his eye. I just think he's so cute. So I went ahead and placed him down there. Here I've grabbed this stamp of that steak, and I'm gonna stamp that out again using that Close to My Heart black ink. And then for the sentiment, I went with Trick or Treat, and I'm going to stamp that using my Lawn Fawn freshly cut grass. And I'm on my usual Nina panel, trimmed to 4x5 1/4. I've added some ATG to the back of that front panel, and I'm going to place that down on my card base. This card base is made from MFT's Orange Zest. And I'll add some ATG to the inside panel and go ahead and place that down. And that will complete card number 3. Here for card number 4, I'm going to use one of these vampire cats, and I've grabbed a sentiment sticker that reads, "Hocus Pocus, need candy to focus." So I'm going to pop that up using some foam dots. And then I sort of played around. I wasn't sure if I wanted to try and catch the cat on the bottom of that or on the top of that, or glue him down first. But because I wanted to make sure I had the placement where I wanted it, I decided I just lightly press that down on top there. And once I've got him in place, I'm going to add some art glitter glue behind my cutout. So I'll go ahead then and place him down on the panel. And then I'm going to grab those 3 bat stickers. So the largest one I'm going to place up in this top corner. And as I was putting him down, I thought he would be kind of fun to pop up too. So for his wings, I'm going to add the smallest pop dots that I have on either one of those. And then I will press his body actually down onto the card. So this gave some really cool dimension. It really looks like those wings are coming at you. And then I'm going to grab these other 2 smaller ones. They were not big enough to fit even half of a pop dot on. So I just left them flat on the card and just created a little visual triangle as I added them down. For the inside, I've got my Nina panel trimmed to 4 by 5 1/4. I'm going to add this Bewitched sentiment. And then again, sparing you some time, it took me a while to figure out how I wanted to place these candies, but I finally settled on 2 in one corner and 1 in the other and added those as well. I'll add some ATG to that front panel and place that on top of my card base. This is made from MFT's Black Licorice. And again, add some ATG to my inside panel and pop that on the inside. Finally, I decided to add a little bit of sparkle to those bats. So I've grabbed my Nuvo Glimmer pen and I'm just going to run that all over all 3 of those. And that will complete card number 4. Here for card number 5, I'm going to be using one of the owls, and I decided I wanted to place him in front of a moon. This is probably actually my second favorite card of this set. So I have trimmed out this moon from some MFT whipped cream cardstock, and I used one of my Sizzix dies. This circle measures, it's sort of right in between 2 7/8 and 3 inches, so either one would get you the same type of look. And I'm just going to place this down on top of my panel here, adding a little glue underneath, and then I'll go around the edges to make sure I've got that down nice and tight. I'm going to pop my owl up, and I'm going to place him in front of the moon. And I did go ahead and grab one of the stickers again. This one reads Broom Rides, 31 cents, and I placed that down in the bottom corner. There I had another little smear of glue, so I'm just gonna get rid of that. That adhesive eraser is my best friend. It works so great. And I will trim off the excess from my moon there. Again, on the inside, Nina panel trimmed to 4 by 5 1/4. I've added this Trick or Treat sentiment. I'm going to add some ATG to the back of my panel, and I'll place that down on top of my card base. This is made from MFT's Limelight. And some more ATG on my inside panel, and I'll place that down as well. And that will complete card number 5. Here are a few close-ups of the finished cards. In the description box below, you'll find my blog post, which has additional photos and links to the supplies I used. I also had some leftover scraps of paper and a few extra colored critters, so I did create a few tags. I've added in some photos of those on my blog for you as well, to give you a couple more ideas. If you enjoyed the video, please leave me a comment or a thumbs up and subscribe for more. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.